said find the unit rate for each problem. Apologize, we cut the instructions off on that page, but that shouldn't be difficult. Here's what we're doing today in class, guys. We're just practicing solving these unit rate problems, or rate problems. So I'm going to do the first one with you because we've got it a little bit different. On our first page, they actually give you the conversion rate right in the problem. So all of these pages, every problem, if you want, you can just start like this, because that's how every one of these is going to start. So our very first one, it says, there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. Guess what I'm doing? 16 ounces, 1 pound. As soon as you've done that, go ahead and put the units on this side as well, because the units are going to be the same. You're then going to figure out the third piece of information they gave you, because they always have to give you a third piece of information. In this case, it's 48 ounces. So where is that going to go? On the top, because that's where ounce is in. Can you see the advantage of having the units already listed? There's no guesswork to it. I mean, you're literally lining it up. At that point, all you have to do is figure out, how do I get from there to there? What do I do to go from 16 to 48? Isaiah? No.
Yeah, no, that's Isaiah. Right here?
Yeah.
That's Isaiah. I'm sorry,
Elijah.
No, it's Elijah.
It's Elijah. My apologies, Elijah.
Yeah, me too. Oh my God.
Times 3. So guess what I'm doing to the 1? Times 3. So my answer is 3 pounds. Guys, every single one of these problems goes like that. I know some of you have found other ways to solve these, but we still want to see this work for every problem. Understood? So at least show this. If you've got other ways you want to do it after you've done this, I'm okay with that. I don't think Mr. McShannon would have a big problem. But we need to at least see this base setup so we understand you know this concept. Okay? What we're going to do, I'm going to give you guys, there's 10 problems on this front page because 2 of them are already done for you. So I'll give you guys about 20 minutes to do this page. We can go over the first page together. If you finish the first page before that, you may go ahead. You are going to need a conversion chart for the second page. This is on page 308 in your, or 309 in your modules. So you can find the conversion chart there, or we have miniature ones we'll hand out to you. If you need the conversion chart when you get to this page, raise your hand, and Miss Manhattan or I will come around and give it to you. Okay? So you have 20 minutes. Time begins now. Start working. And then after we finish this front page, you guys can start on the second page in full. If you've already finished, please watch anyway. Make sure that you've got the correct answers and that you're setting them up properly. So we've got 12 inches, 1 foot. That's what I start. 12 inches, 1 foot. I'm having a lot of people not write the units. Guys, once your units are in place, just write them on the other side, because it's going to tell you exactly where that last number goes. 174 inches, I know it goes here. Now, most of us aren't going to know how do I go from 12 to 174 directly. If you don't know what I'm multiplying by, I do the inverse. So I'm going to divide 174 by 12. So it goes once, gives me a 5, bring down the 4. That's going to go 4 times. Subtract 48. Gives me a 6. I'm still not at 0, so I now add a decimal and bring down another 0. That's going to go 5 times. Once I've hit 0, I'm done. So what did I multiply by? 14 and 5/10. Making the bottom one easy because it's just 1. So my answer is 14 and 5/10. Our next one, 3 feet, 1 yard. 3 feet, 1 yard. I immediately put my units down to make my life easy, because now I know 12 feet is going to go on top. That means I would times 4. So I go times 4 to give me 4 yards. Next one, we've got 5,280 feet, 1 mile, 3.5. So 5,280 feet in 1 mile. And I know it's feet and miles. The other one they gave me was 3 and 5/10. So what am I doing? Multiplying by 3 and 5/10. Now this one means I do have some work, because I've got to multiply 5,280 times 3 and 5/10. I have one decimal, so I'm now just doing 5,280 times 35. Gives me 0, 40, 10, 14, 25, 26. Placeholder, because I'm in the tens. 0, 24, 6, 8, 15. And I add them. 0, 0, 8, 14, 8, 1. I need one decimal place. Gives me 18,480 feet. We have 2,000 pounds, 1 ton. So that's where I start. 2,000 pounds, 1 ton. I have pounds, I have tons. The other one they gave me, 7,500 pounds. Please stop the chatter, especially when you didn't even finish these. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing 2,000 to get to 7,500, so I'm going to divide. 7,500 divided by 2,000. So we'll go here, or 750, so I'm all the way to the 0. It's a 3. Subtracting 6,000 gives me 1,500. Still not at 0, so I need to add a decimal and a 0. Gives me 15,000, so that's 7. Minus 14,000 gives me 1,000, so I'm still not at 0. Add another 0. Gives me 10,000, so that's a 5. And I finally made it to 0. So what was it? I multiplied by 3 and 7,500ths. So I multiply this one by 3 and 7,500ths. It kind of ran over, but that's 1 ton. So 1 times 3.75 gives me 3 and 7,500ths tons. Once we move to the metric, here's why metric is so nice. Because metric is literally just about moving decimals. I have 100 decameters in a kilometer. So 100, and I think it's DKM. Decameters are not commonly used.
Decameters is DAM.
DAM?
Yeah, and then decimeters.
Okay, that's what I thought. So DAMs and kilometers, and they gave me 8 and 1/2. So I multiply by 8.5. Multiply by 8.5. So I'm just moving my decimal 2 times. 1, 2. Gives me 850 decameters. 9. We've got 10 centimeters in a decimeter. And then 37. So I go 10 centimeters, 1 decimeter. I have centimeters and decimeters. The other number they gave me, 37. So again, because I'm just dealing with a power of 10, I know all I'm doing is moving my decimal once, so that's times 3 and 7/10. So multiply this one by 3 and 7/10. Gives me 3 and 7/10 decimeters. 100 meters, 1 hectometer. 100 meters, 1 hectometer. Put in my units, meter, hectometer, and they gave me 201 meters. So 100 to 201, again, I'm just moving by decimals. So I move my decimal over twice, means I multiply by 2 and 100th. So on the bottom, I multiply by 2 and 100th, and I get 2 and 100ths. Last 2, we have 1,000 milligrams in a gram. So 1,000 milligrams in a gram. Set it up, I have a milligram in a gram. The other one they gave me is 25 milligrams, so that's going to go on top. I don't know 1,000 to 25 what I would multiply by, so I'm going to divide 25 by 1,000, meaning I move my decimal 3 times. 1, 2, 3 gives me a 0.025 that I multiplied by. Times 0.025 means 0.025 grams. Then our last one, 1,000 millimeters in a meter. So I know it's millimeters and meter. The other one they gave me is 350 millimeters. That's going on top. Divide 350 by 1,000, meaning I move my decimal 3 times, or I multiplied by 350 1,000, or 3,500, whichever way you want to look at it. So multiply by 350 hundredths, and we get 0.35 meters or 0.350. Either one would be an acceptable answer. Questions on our first page? Okay, going to page 2. Our process is going to be the same. I am going to do one with you guys because I found in the last 2 classes this one is different because the conversion chart isn't right here for you. So again, page 309, or I've got little handouts. Miss Manhattan or I will come by and give it to you if you need it. But your setup on these are going to be a little different. And this is what I do. You can set it up the other way if you want, but I prefer to start with my conversion factor. This is the problem, meaning this is actually my second part over here, and I'm switching it to kilograms. So what I do is I set this up like this, and I go pounds and kilograms. Then I look at my conversion chart. So I actually have 2 options on my conversion chart. I can either do 1 pound is 0.45 kilograms, or I can do 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. For me personally, since I have the pounds, I would rather go with 1 pound. So 1 pound is 0.45 kilograms, which makes this math easier, because now I'm just multiplying by 165. Okay? Now I will tell you one heads up on this. Which conversion factor you do will change your answer slightly, because when I'm converting between units, different systems, those are all abouts. So we're doing estimates on these. So there will be a little bit of variability in your answers, but you should be close to what we get as we show the answers on this one. So I've got the first one set up for you. You're going to do that same thing. Every one of these problems should start basically like this. And for me, again, I'm going to use the information they give me in the problem to fill this one out first, and then I would go to my conversion table to figure this one out. If you do it reversed, you can still get the right answers. You just have to make sure you're thinking about it properly. Questions? Okay, so again, we're giving you guys around 12 minutes. You've only got 5 problems on this page, and I basically did number 1 for you. So you guys should be able to finish this one in the next 12 minutes. Go ahead and start. Okay, so I already started this one out for you. So all I'm doing is 165 times 45 hundredths. 2 decimal places gives me 25, 32, 8, 0, 20, 24, 26, 4, 5, 6. Add them up. 5, 2, 14. Gives me about 74 and 25 hundredths. If you use the other factor, you would have gotten 75 kilos. That is just the difference why these are abouts when you go between systems. Okay? Either answer is good. Number 3, or number 11, I guess we're at. So it's 5/10 of a kilogram, and I want to know how many pounds. So because I get to choose, I'm going to go with the 1 kilo is 2.2 pounds. Meaning all I'm doing is multiplying by 5/10 or dividing by 2, whichever way you want to look at it. So that one becomes 1.1. If you use the other conversion factor, again, it came out to, I think, 1.1 repeating, which is very close. So either one would work.
Could you go back up to number 10?
Nope. Okay, we've got 4.2 liters. And I want to know how many gallons. Please stop the chatter in the background. And I'm going gallons to liters, so because I've got the liters, I'm going to start with my liter one. 1 liter is approximately 26 hundredths of a gallon. So that just means I'm multiplying by 4.2. So I multiply this one by 4.2. So 26 hundredths times 4.2. I have 3 decimals. I'm now just multiplying 26 times 42. Gives me 12, 4, 5. 0, 24, 8, 9, 10, 2, 9, 0, 1. I have 3 decimal places. My instructions were round to the nearest hundredth. So here's where I'm rounding. I look at that number. 2 means it stays there. So 1 and 900 gallons. Ezekiel, you need to stop. Lee is going to compete in a 5,000 meter race. I'm going to yards. So I have 5,000 meters. And I'm going to yards. So I need to look for my conversion factor, meter to yard. And I can see on my chart 1 meter is 3 and 2800 yards. Meaning I'm just multiplying that by 5,000 times 5,000. So again, we just have to do the math. 3 and 2800 times 5,000. So I've got 2 decimals, but I have 3 zeros. 5 times 8 is 40. 10, 14, 15, 16. Put my 2 decimals in. Gives me, what did I do wrong here? Thank you. That's what you're trying to tell me? Okay. It's like something's not adding up. Yes, 1.09 yards. Thank you. So 1 and 900ths times 5,000 gives us 2 decimals. 1, 2, 3, 45, and 5. 2 decimal places, so that's about 4,450 yards. There's our answer. 5,000. Last one, I'm going meters to feet. So again, start out with my conversion factors, meters to feet. 1 meter, there's the 3.28. So 1 to 2.1 is times 2.1. So I multiply this one by 2.1, 3.28 times 2.1. I have 3 decimal places, and I'm just doing 328 times 21. Gives me 328, 0, 16, 5, 6. Sorry, that's actually a 5 right there. 8, 8, 8, 6. 3 decimal places. I'm rounding to the hundredth, meaning that 8 tells that 8 to go up 1. So 6 and 89 hundredths feet. Any questions on this page? Okay. We're actually tracking pretty well, guys. Good job. So our last one that we're going to do together, all you need to do on these, figure out where they're starting with 2 numbers. I'll give you a big hint. Wherever starting with 2 numbers, go to 1 first. Once I've got the 1, the rest of them should be easy to do. Okay? Yeah. You guys only have 5 charts on this one to fill out. So this one should only take you guys about 5 minutes, which will give us time to go over the answers. Yes, 5 minutes, go. So here are the last page, the 3rd page. So let's go ahead and go through this one. I'm not going to do all the math on the side because I'll be honest, a lot of this is easy enough to do in your head. That's the nice thing about single digit division. So 2 goes into 1190. That's going to be 5 and 95 hundredths, 595. So then to go to 3 pounds, I got 2 choices. I can either add those 2 together because 1 plus 2 is 3. That's the additive way, or multiply this times 3. Personally, I would go with the adding. So that's going to give me 16, 17, 85. This is just double that, so that's 34, 35, 70. 10 is just 10 times this, so I move my decimal once, adds 5950. Okay? Same thing here. Here's where my double is, so I'm going to divide 7825 by 5. So that one I'll go ahead and do over here. Let's go, it's 1, gives us 28, so that's 5. 25 gives me a 3. 32 is going to go 6. 25 is going to go 5. So that one was $15.65 per box. Guys, please stop the chatter. Doing 10, I just moved my decimal once. 156.50. 20 is going to just be double that. So that becomes $312, $313. And then 22, that's just the 20 plus 2 of these, 2 of the ones. So 2 of the ones is going to be 31.30. So 31.30 gives me 344.30. Number 4, they started us at the 4. So 4 is going to go into 18 4 times. 45. Double that's going to be 90. 10 times it's going to be 450. Double that is going to be 900. So that one was a really easy set. Number 5. Again, dividing by 4, so that's going to give me 55 miles, meaning 5 would be those two put together, so 275 miles. 6 is just 1 and 5 put together, so that's 330 miles. And then 10, you just add a 0 to that one, 550 miles. Our last one, 112.50 divided by 5. So that's going to go twice. 12 is going to go twice again. 25, we got my decimal, is going to go 5 times. So now I'm at 0, but I still have a spot, so that's 22.50. 2.5. So you got 2 choices. I would just divide 5 by 2 to make it easy for myself. So that's going to be 56.25. The other option is multiply the 22.50 by 2.5, but you'd get the same answer either way. 7.5 means I just add the 2.5 to the 5.5, or 2.5 hours to 5 hours. Gives me 75 cents. 168. 10 hours is just double the 5 hours. So that's $125. So there are all of your tables put together. If you missed any of it, check the video tonight. Guys, sit down. I didn't release anybody. Let's go to your homework real quick. Guys, listen up. I did not release anyone. Sit down. We're finding the unit rate for each problem. So basically, take the smaller number to 1. Okay? So I'm circling the one that you want to get to 1. 7 miles. I would turn this around. I would go minutes per mile. And same thing here. You do also have to do number 2, but that one is not difficult. All I need is more fuel efficiency. So find it out, both of them, for 1 gallon. Yes, sir. I did?
Yeah.
Hold on. Which one? Oh, that would have been 225. Thank you. 225. My apologies. Thank you for pointing it out.